Here we go. Hey guys, welcome back to the live stream. And so I'm going to be upgrading my RAM. I'm probably wondering, I probably have got two 8GB sticks of RAM, and well, I don't really, but I do have. I want to do a RAM swap, so I decided I was going to do it today. But then I was a bit tired, and I just went off the PS4, and PS4's off. Obviously, it's on standby right now, so that means that there's power still being fed into the PS4. PS4 is just not on, and the TV's on, but I can't turn it off because look, whenever I go to turn the TV off, I'm clearly pressing the button as hard as I can. You could even hear it too. And even if I try to put the volume up and down to test if the batteries work. This is the correct remote for the TV. I use this all the time with the TV. So, what's it called? I've looked at the battery. The batteries doesn't look like they've leaked or anything. Just clear out some notifications here. Right, put the brightness down. Actually, before I put it down, let me show you the installed RAM. I'm not sure why my disk drive is turning on. That probably should be happening, I don't know. Yeah, let's just type in system info. Okay, there we are. First one. I purposely put up the brightness so then the phone could see it, but obviously with the brightness down, I can still perfectly see the screen and everything on the screen. So yeah, actually with brightness 50 in this type of lighting condition, it looks really nice. It looks almost like 4K. If you look over here on these applications, from my angle, they look perfectly like an OLED, and they look perfect, even though this is an LCD screen or display, right? So what you need to see, obviously x64 based, which means that the APU could handle stuff like that. Now, I'm pretty sure the PS4 APU is also x64, but Sony listed the... Oh, now my PC screen on the phone is doing that thing. Oh, this is literally... Okay, whenever I wave my hand in the screen, even on the TV screen, the same thing happens, right? Because they're both 60 hertz. Now you could see this now because look, waving my hand and you can see the refresh rate. Well, the same thing I can see in real life. I don't see the lines going up in real life. I only see the lines when I move my hand, like with the motion blur of my hand moving, like how you guys see it on the camera, just like that. But obviously I don't see these lines going up. My phone does the same thing with the TV, but obviously that's just because these two are both 60 hertz. Can go down to 50 hertz, but I don't want to because, well, things aren't going to look so smooth. So anyways, yeah, this now SM BIOS, I think that is probably the clock of the chip. I'm not too sure. But if we just scroll down, I'm not sure if you guys are supposed to be seeing all this. Platform roll mobile, so basically it's a mobile chip, basically. Yeah, so what I was saying, yeah, so Sony listed the PS5's APU as x86 hardware, or yeah, x86. That's basically 32-bit, and it could have been x64, but they've chose not to list it as x64. They've always listed it as x86, even on the PS4. If you go on Google and if you type in PS4 specs and launch date, it would say the launch date and everything, but the specs, it will literally say x86. I know it's not x86 because, like, I have a game that I remember when I was on a 32-bit version of Windows on, I can't remember if it was this machine. No, it was on the Dell PC. I clearly remember, right? I had Hitman 2, so I still have Hitman 2 here, even in the 64-bit version, because I always keep it with me. And launched Hitman 2, and it said it needed a 64-bit hardware for this. At the time, I never really, I was literally new to like owning my own PC and shit. So, what's it called? I launched Hitman 2 and it said that, and same thing with that as well. Well, actually, there was a glitch. I showed you guys in one of my videos, right? I think I launched this application here, and it told me that it needed Windows 7 or above, and I was like, what? I already have Windows 10, but I never knew I was on a 32-bit version. I never really knew what 32 and 64-bit was back then, but obviously I know so much more about Windows 10 because even though it's been a few months, just like owning two machines, I know a lot about Windows. So what's it called? Yeah. So it said that I was like, what the heck? So I was like, how do you install the 64-bit version of Windows 10? Where do you get it from? Obviously, I've seen a video. You go to Microsoft's website at the time. You go to the website, you download a tool, and then I moved the Windows Media Tool thingy onto my external hard drive, and ever since then, I mean, if there's any like fresh new PC that I buy, the first thing I always do, because I know Windows 10 is not always going to be pre-installed on there. So what I do is I get the hard drive, plug it in the USB port. Now I go into the system BIOS settings, and I set the hard drive, the USB hard drive, as the first boot up thingy. So then it can actually boot the hard drive first, and actually run off that hard drive. Obviously, it's just gonna be running Windows 10 setup. So, you've guys seen me do Windows 10 setup before. It's nothing much, really, to any of you new to, like, Windows 10 PC shit. So, yeah, Windows 7, I don't know, I've had Windows 7 for a longer time than Windows 10. But anyways, so, system info. But going back to system info, alright, so what it looks like, time zone summertime. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be. I think right now it's autumn, so I guess it could. Not too sure though. Okay. Virtual memory 7.2. What? Physical memory 3.81. This is probably all the RAM. Yeah, there we go. Installed RAM 6 gigabytes. Can you guys see that? 6 gigabytes of installed RAM. So basically, that's not a lot of RAM if you want to play games. I've played games before, and some games on this PC run fine because they don't require lots of RAM. But I think the reason that this Hitman game would not launch could be because of my RAM. Possibly could be because of my RAM. Oh, I wasn't sure you guys. I wasn't looking at the phone screen. Yeah, this game I'm hovering over right now, the reason that it's not launching is because it probably requires more RAM. Even on Google, it says 64 megabytes, I think, on this game. It must have been this game or was another game, but I'm pretty sure it says 64 megabytes minimum. I'm gonna check again just for double checking. So let me just double check right now for you guys, so you guys can see now. So I'm gonna say Hitman. Oh, wasn't on there for some reason. That's very strange. Minimum. Yeah, I was literally correct. 64 megabytes. Literally, I typed it in there as well. Yeah, as you can clearly see, and it literally says 64 megabytes. So I was correct. So if it's 64 megabytes, and I've got 6 gigabytes, so technically it should work because 64 megabytes is less than what I have, so it should work. Technically it should. For some reason it's not working. Could it just be like my laptop just can't, like, my APU can't handle Vario graphics? It probably doesn't run on laptops. I don't think the game runs on laptops. Even if after I upgrade my RAM, it probably doesn't even run on laptops. So yeah, it probably needs like a desktop PC, which I don't really know if I could get, because I don't know. Because if I get a gaming laptop, 17.3 inches, yeah, I don't know, man. I am thinking though, if I get a gaming laptop, even though this PC could handle things just fine, AMD A6 4400M, that's literally still a good chip, and that is literally a good APU. But what's it called? I never knew laptops, right, could ever have. Well, back then when I was like new to owning my own laptop, I never knew that laptops could ever have APUs. I thought that they'll have CPUs or CPU and GPUs only. But when I found out that this one had an APU, because I've looked on like YouTube, and on YouTube this laptop, not really the model, well, it was kind of the model, not the same model, but that model had a CPU and GPU in it. So I was like, okay, mine has a CPU and GPU as well. But then I looked when I did the stream about taking this thing apart and showing you guys all the inside. It turned out to only have like the heat spreader thingy was only going on top of the one chip. I didn't see another chip underneath that. I was like, okay, what is that then? It's probably a CPU. So I looked on the specs and it said AMD APU. So I was like, okay, that's pretty good. My laptop has an APU. That's literally amazing. That's not, APU never really fails. Then I researched a bit more, like probably it was like a week ago. Yeah, I think it was a week ago. Found out that my APU actually is pin grid away. Now, I could have, the day I took this laptop apart, I could have at least replaced the thermal paste, but obviously I didn't. I wouldn't have like original thermal paste because the thermal paste is fine anyways. Like I can still feel the heat when the fan is blowing. I can still feel the heat coming from the heatsink, so I think the thermal paste is fine. But whoever replaced the thermal paste, I hope they did a good job, because if they did the spread method like I did, because every single time I replace thermal paste on any device, I always do the spread method, so the thermal paste can spread properly, not just do like a dot of thermal paste and then put on the heatsink. That's what some people do. I guess if you're in a rush and you don't really have enough time for like spreading it out, because that kind of takes a lot of time, then yeah, go ahead, just put a little blob of thermal paste, put on the heatsink, and you're good to go. But that might cover the entire APU, but then it's gonna kind of, when you squish on the heatsink a little bit more and a little bit more tighter, that might come out of like, that might start to go around the die of the APU. So I wouldn't really prefer that. I would just prefer the spreading method, because that's a lot more neater. I like being more neater with stuff like that. especially if you're going to spread thermal paste, then be the neatest and just spread it like with a card or something. It's fine if you just spread it with a card, because then later on you could just like get a baby wipe and just wipe off all the thermal paste that you have on your card. It's very easy stuff to do, honestly. Anyone could do it, not just me. Anyone, like literally anyone. Not sure if anyways, yeah. So can't turn off my TV. Might have to replace the batteries. So yeah, 6 gigabytes of RAM. It's not really the type of things for gaming. I don't prefer it. It's not good for gaming. Only some games could handle it perfectly well, but all the other games can't. Like even the PS2 emulator games, they don't even run correctly because of the RAM. I even did like the best settings in there, and they still don't run correctly. So yeah, that's good to know, isn't it? But yeah, I guess if I upgrade my RAM, then yeah, that should make it a little bit more better for the games to run. Because the thing is, right, I've seen it. I just a few hours ago, I was on YouTube on the PS4. I looked up a video, 6 gigabytes versus 8 gigabytes of RAM. Now this is probably just, yeah, I think it's DDR4 because they're obviously playing on a desktop most likely. So DDR4, it's kind of not so much like DDR3, but yeah, DDR4 has more connectors, it's more longer. DDR3 is gonna be a little bit more different. I'm not too sure. That's what I think, because you know, laptop RAM is not always going to be the same as, you know, like desktop. But who knows? I mean, like less connectors, you know, you're going to get less performance, I guess. More connectors, the better the performance, obviously. So yeah, more connectors is better. Well, it does depend on the connectors and stuff, but yeah. Anyways, so I looked at the video, 6 gigabytes versus 8 gigabytes of RAM. What I've seen is the game, obviously, yes, the processor runs at a higher degrees. Like I think, so it was like what, with 6 gigabytes on some game, I forgot what game it was. The processor was like running at 60. No, it was like 50 something degrees, and it was like running almost 100% for speed. Sometimes I think, yeah, I seen in the same video when the person was driving the car, in the car game he was driving, Project Cars 3 I think it was called, there was a literal frame rate drop for like a split second, and on the 8 gigabyte side comparison there was no frame drops. So you barely get any frame drops. So I think, yeah, my things are gonna run really, really nicely on there. So yeah, so this guy was playing this game before the car game, and yeah, the processor on the 8 gigabyte side was running at like 60, 65, even though the other one was running like 57, something like that. So obviously, yes, if your processor is gonna run hotter, you may as well get your thermal paste ready, get your baby wipes ready, and get a dry tissue ready, because you are going to be wiping the APU and the heatsink. Maybe even a bit of the thermal pads, if this thing has thermal pads. I'm not sure if it does. I haven't took a look yet, but I know that it's probably just going to be a die, like the APU die, like the actual APU die, like chip, then the heatsink, then the thermal paste, and then the heatsink on top of it, like sandwiched. And then, yeah, that's obviously how cooling works. But if you guys never knew, this whole time when you were using your laptop, well, depends on most laptops actually, and even in the PS4, the launch PS4 and the PS3 Slim model 2003A and PS3 Fat models. This literally applies to them. So basically, this whole time you guys had your motherboard upside down, and your processor chips were also your processor chips was upside down as well, along with your cooling system. along with the cooling fan, I think, yeah. So this has exactly that, and same with the Dell laptop as well. Most laptops are always going to be designed like that, and consoles are literally like laptops. They're like laptops, but like desktops at the same time. So they're like laptops because the motherboard, like, well, depends on what console model it is, but it's like a laptop because it's got a laptop hard drive, and well, I'm not too sure about the RAM part, but it's got a laptop hard drive, so it's most likely like a laptop. But I don't know why companies do that. They make their consoles a lot like laptops for some reason, and they get like in the Sony console they always get like a jet fan. Now obviously the jet fan is in a laptop, always in a laptop, because any fan you get, if it's a laptop fan, it's gonna be a jet fan most likely. There's no laptop fan that's out there that's like a CPU fan that blows this way, like that blows like the way like to. So like how the Xbox 360 Fat has like those two fans. Yeah, those two fans are basically CPU fans. And I know the Xbox 360 Fat has a CPU and GPU, but I call them CPU fans for specific reasons, because the fans pull the air towards them and then they blow it out like behind them. The jet fan is the fan that's in the PS4, and Sony still to this day still making those fans, still using those fans even in the latest console, the PS5, even in the PS3, the PS2, the PS4. So every console Sony made with a cooling fan, they always had a jet fan. Actually, no. There was just one console, the PS2 Fat, that didn't have a jet fan. That console has a CPU fan. But obviously then later on when, PS2 Slims, they had a jet fan. The PS2 Slims actually had a laptop fan. Which was actually very interesting because, well, I guess so. But yeah. The only consoles to ever have desktop hard drives is the Sony PS2 Fat and the original Xbox. They were a lot like each other. Not so much because, obviously the fans were both CPU fans. Obviously Xbox, ever since day one, they always had that CPU fan thing going on. All the way up until the Xbox Series... No, not the Xbox Series. The Xbox One X. That's the only time Microsoft actually put in a jet fan, which is very, it's crazy. It's just crazy. Like, Sony's been using jet fans for ages. That's what I love Sony for. They've just been using jet fans for a long time, and I actually like jet fans because of the design, and it's really interesting for like how the airflow goes through. So, and well, yeah, they may not be so easy to clean. Actually, if it's a laptop fan, you could just pull out the fan, like how I showed you guys last time. I pulled out the fan of this one. I pulled out the fan, and it was like I poured oil in the thing, in the what's it called, the shaft that was in between, and that basically like helps it be more silent. So, and that also helps it with kind of like spin faster and shit. So it would spin easier basically. If there was a bunch of hairs and dust in it, then it would be a lot more noisy. It would be a lot more slower, and it would burn out more quicker. Meaning that it would last a lot shorter. It would last not so long then. It wouldn't even cool properly. Your processor would get extremely hot. It wouldn't even do its job properly because hairs and shit is just inside of the shaft. So, well, not inside of the shaft, but like on the sides of the shaft and shit. So always gotta make sure you've got oil or like grease. Kind of depends, really, doesn't it? Because grease can sometimes, or lithium grease that is, could sometimes slow down the fan. Just by how slow the substance is. Sometimes slow it down, it can sometimes make it fast, depending on the weight of the fan, how big it is, and how much you've applied. So all that does matter. But lithium grease is also recommended for the two rods that you've got. So you've got one rod here, one rod there in your DVD drive. Just apply it on the worm gear motor as well. Keep it on the worm gear motor, but just on the rods, just replace that with oil, long-lasting oil that is. So yeah, that's what I would recommend, because you don't want everything to be dry and then have your worm gear motor kind of shave the plastic as it ages and shit, as you use it, basically. So what I'm gonna do on this PC now, I'm gonna disconnect from the internet. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep it on. Obviously, gonna just do a quick little restart to clear my RAM cache. Oh my gosh. Okay, right. I'm gonna do a quick little restart right now. So you guys are gonna be seeing a little restart in 3, 2, 1. Right now it's restarting. So yeah, I don't know why laptop screens. Oh, now I could definitely feel it. I could like feel the jet fan blowing the heat. Still kind of blowing the heat. Now it's gonna bright screen. Ready, guys? There we are. I like how the phone kind of focuses with the Samsung logo there, because the exposure was quite bright on that. But yeah, how laptops like start up sometimes is always with the bright screen. I don't like the bright screen startup, but yeah, we do have a GUI boot going on here. I'm not too sure what this thing is. Oh, look at this, guys. Even the laptops, I keep saying laptops, and the laptops, but even the monitors in my schools do the same thing. Whenever you like press on the screen, it kind of like does that slow like effect. I don't know why they do that. Whenever I do it to the phone screen, it goes away instantly. But whenever I do it to the laptops, it doesn't. Laptops and monitors. Yeah, what's it called? The laptops they have nowadays in my school, some shitty Chromebooks, man. And honestly, Chromebooks suck. You know why? Because they don't have any cooling fan, and they don't even have Windows. Obviously, they made by Google, but still, I like a Chromebook at least to have Windows on it, so that I could use Windows 10 with it. Because I'm more of a Windows guy than a Chromebook person. I don't really like Chromebooks. I don't know if you're the same like me, but I don't really like Chromebooks. You know, back then, Back then in 2018, let's say. 2018, 2019, to 2020. Basically, in my school, they would have like the laptops, and the laptops would be like HP Compact with a Q on the end. Laptops. I think they were like model 540, I think. And they obviously had a jet fan like this. They were basically like this laptop here, but they ran Windows 10, obviously, and the fans were really, really quiet on them, and they were just amazing. They were amazing laptops, but obviously they don't do them anymore. It's kind of horrible. Why Chromebooks? Why? Honestly, honestly, man, I don't like Chromebooks. Chromebooks are just terrible. Oh, now my TV turns off. Look, guys, now my TV finally turned off. So now I don't even know what I even did, but if I try to turn on my TV again, yeah, it's gonna turn on now. But as soon as I turn, like, the batteries are just dodgy in this remote. So you never know if your TV's gonna turn on or off whenever you like press the button. And now, like, does the volume work? Oh, it does work. What the hell? That is very strange. Okay. Like, I haven't even touched the remote, and I just turned the TV off and it actually turns off. That's great. I don't even know how. Wow. So I don't know if the batteries need replacing, because you never know if it's the battery, or could sometimes be the infrared signal, but I don't really know. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just quickly go to the plugs. Also, just go to the plugs and turn them both off. Temperature, okay, pretty warm heatsink. Anyways, yeah, if you wanted an update on my capture card focus phone, just focus by yourself, okay? That's just like Samsung phones. Anyways, capture card is really cold because obviously I've not really used it in quite long. So it's been not so long. It's only been like a few weeks with the capture card, I guess. Pop back. Actually, let me show you guys after the light on the TV goes now. You see the LED light over there? There we go. It's gone now. Yeah. I'm going to show you the beam, the infrared, how strong it is. Ready? I'm not sure if my stream could see this. I want to show you guys the beam. Whenever I press like volume up, focus. No, this camera for some reason can't see it. Right, let's flip over to my camera. Right, I remember this working. There we are, it does work. So my selfie camera could actually see ghosts, whereas, well, my back-facing camera could. I remember having like. Do you guys remember my Toshiba TV, from ages ago, like from 2018, 2019, something like that, before I got this TV. Basically, I think my remote was like dying because like the batteries were going. The battery's like really, really low in power. So I pressed like one of the buttons on the remote, checked through the back facing camera, and I remember clearly that the LED, well, actually back then it was like there was like a black like piece of plastic over it, over this part, like there was like a black piece of plastic, and like I would hold the button, and then my back facing camera could kind of see the infrared beam like this. It could kind of see it. I clearly saw it on my phone screen. It was clear as day. I could clearly see it. So my back facing camera could kind of see it, but mostly my selfie camera could definitely see this infrared beam. Let me show you guys again. Look at this. I just hold the volume up key. Look at this. That's just proof that like Apple didn't really pay much attention to this camera here. So, you know, it's good that though, you know, I could just take any selfie, just have a ghost appear in my pictures, you know. Ghosts are part of the infrared a little bit, so that's why if your camera could see infrared stuff, that means they could also see ghosts, which is really, really handy because then you have evidence of a ghost in your picture, which is it's really interesting. Ghosts are really interesting. Anyways, though, what's that? Right. Yeah, as I said to you guys, I'm going to be upgrading my RAM in just a bit, though. Not like instantly, but in just a bit. Let me just put my remote here. My controller needs a bit of a clean, so I'll clean my controller later on whenever I have time. Right now, I don't have much time. I need to replace my... Oh, God, my phone almost knocked over my phone. Guys, I almost knocked over my phone. Literally. I'm not sure. Hold on a minute. I'm not sure if you guys... Can you guys still hear me? Probably can, you know. Anyway, so... flip over the camera again. Right. So... I like how it like slowly focuses, and then whenever it looks over there, yeah, the focus is really good on this phone. The 5S is also good with autofocus. I just like how the 5S just like autofocuses every so now and then. It goes whenever you like do this, and it would just focus like that. But this phone just goes. It would just slowly focus in until the CPU recognizes the object. So I like that. I like how it, also this is like Apple A9. Yeah, pretty powerful. It can run games really nicely as well. If I try to stream a game, but obviously I don't want like the game to be too powerful that if I try to do a screen capture, and you know basically just stream my screen and launch a game that's quite powerful, you know, my phone goes pretty hot on one game, and then I try to stream, and then you know I think the other part of this CPU core can't handle it pretty well. I don't know. It sucks too much battery power then, so you know, I remember doing one like test stream as well where I would move apps like here and there just to test how smooth it would be. It's really, really smooth actually. So Apple iPhone 6s is really, really good for that stuff. So streaming your screen is good. I recommend it. Also, when iPhone 5s, it would just freeze up and everything because the processor was not powerful enough. So it can't handle screen capture very well, but it can do other things normally like the iPhone 6s can, but not as powerful, let's just say. But yeah, 5s is good enough, but not good enough for streaming your screen, because that kind of takes up a bit of CPU power as well, so you've got to think about that. But obviously this CPU and this phone is pretty powerful, so it could handle that really, really quickly. If you're just not quickly, but yeah, and quickly, but also pretty well basically. If you're on the home screen, you're just scrolling like here and there, you're just swiping here and there, just seeing how smooth it is while streaming your screen, then yeah, this is pretty good for that. Not sure how it does on games. It might be smooth, it might not be, I don't know. Apps, it might be a different story. I don't quite know, but yeah, that's what. This PC though, let me tell you guys, whenever I try to stream on this PC, it doesn't do the best job. That probably could be because of the RAM, but I don't really know. Let me show you guys the RAM I've got on this thing, because it's not the most powerfulest, I think. Yeah, the screw's a bit torn up in this thing. Let me show you guys. Yeah, the screw's a bit torn up. I torn up the screw myself because the screwdriver kept slipping, so I tried to like hold it tight, and then. But yeah, anyways, you can tell this is clearly Windows 8. Clearly Windows 8, man. Windows 8. Anyways, yeah, you could definitely tell this is 2012. Even though on here it also says 2012. See, 2012. Amazing. And underneath this thing here, get it in shot. Underneath this cover here is actually the Wi-Fi card, which is really, really good because that means you have full access to it. On the Dell laptop, it was a completely different story. You could not. There was no pieces of plastic like this that you could just take off and easily just have easy access like that. There's nothing like that back then, but nowadays it's so easy. Obviously 2012 is really easy, but with my Dell laptop, you have to take the entire laptop apart to actually just swap out the hard drive, or go to the Wi-Fi card, just swap that out too. It was another story with that, man, honestly. But with this, so much better access, honestly. This is a laptop I recommend. Now Toshiba laptop, yes, you could also do the same thing, but I don't think Toshiba put a little access thing here where you could just pry this off and then there you go, you have access to your Wi-Fi card. I don't think Toshiba laptop had that option. I think you have to take the entire laptop apart for that. But I remember the Toshiba laptop definitely had this option where you could just unscrew this one screw and pry this whole thing off. So I like what Toshiba did there. But with this one, you screw it off, you pull it back a little bit and then you take it off. It's really easy. But with that one, you unscrew one screw and then you undo the clips with this. Make sure you don't break any of the clips, and then take it off. Take off the hard drive, and you could also do your RAM swap from there as well. So I think that was a really good. Well, I think that was a nice option Toshiba had there. But obviously, yeah, Samsung has a way better option. Samsung PCs are so much better. So, what about a heatsink? Hey, ever since that, I mean, I've been using this laptop quite a lot, so I don't know how much dust is in the heatsink. There shouldn't be so much dust, anyways. There shouldn't be enough dust to like cover the heatsink completely, like. How I don't know. I can't remember if I showed you guys last time like how much dust there was. I remember showing you guys on. I think I remember showing you guys on the Dell laptop how much dust there was. Oh man, it was crazy. It was dust surrounding. It was so blocked that there was dust surrounding the fan. That's probably why the GPU chip, the AMD Radeon. I forgot what the graphics chip name, but I forgot like what model name it was, but my god, man, I don't know how old that is, but that looks about 14, 15 years old, that chip die. And even though it's just like little small shiny square die, what's it called? Yeah, that I could tell that's been under quite a lot of stress, because even though, well, who knows what Windows that was running, but I just ran Windows 10 off of it, right? And yeah, so obviously when I turned the laptop on for the first ever time, right, I was downstairs and the laptop beeped twice. I'm not sure what the two beep meant back then, but when I put in RAM and hard drive, then it actually booted up Windows and everything. But yeah, I just messed around with the fucking laptop back then when I didn't know what I was quite doing with it. I never knew so much about laptops, man. I knew mostly about consoles and shit, but obviously nowadays, oh man, we can go on a whole video call about laptops, because I know so much more about laptops than I did back then. But yeah, I have more knowledge about laptops now. So obviously, laptops, not just laptops, but also the also desktop PCs. So, I don't really know what was the last laptop to ever have what's it called, pin grid away. I'm not sure if laptops still do pin grid away. I don't think they do anymore, because the laptops are so thin. But along with thin laptops, they do thin fans, and the thin fans, the only problem I get with, or what I see with them, is that they can like rattle. They can make horrible noises whenever they're at an angle. They don't spin correctly and stuff, so you've got to be extremely careful when it comes to those types of fans. I've seen it in an Acer PC, and it's just, oh man, it isn't good. It's nothing good, man, literally. So if you've got a thin laptop, like a really thin laptop, and along with a really thin fan in it that actually cools the thing, yeah, you've got to be really, really careful with that, because if you have your laptop at an angle, something like this could definitely do it. Something like angle like that could definitely do it. I know that for sure. So never have your laptop at that. That's also bad for the hard drive, because the hard drive, it also like puts pressure on the bearings, and then it doesn't spin correctly, and it can't read correctly sometimes. So you've got to have it flat like that at all times. Laptop upside down, that's not bad either. That's okay for the fan as well, but just at all times have it laying flat, like how it's meant to be. Obviously, I'm not sure why like laptop stands or laptop like cooling like fans, external cooling fans have that kind of angle. I think that's just there for airflow. But obviously, if you don't really care so much about airflow, obviously my laptop's fine. It doesn't really like, yeah, it cools a lot, but yeah, it's pretty good with cooling anyways, so I don't really need anything like that. I used to have something like that, but sadly broke on me, because it got hair wrapped in the fan. Then the fan never span correctly. Then I tried to get the fan apart, and I broke, and in the process I ended up breaking the fan, because I couldn't get that one piece of long hair that got into the fan out. So, but yeah, there are CPU fans out there that you could just undo like a little like, clip thingy, and then take the fan apart like that. So think of it like a jet fan, but just with a little clip that's holding it in place. So yeah, obviously with a jet fan on a laptop, that's all magnetic. You just pull it out, and you're literally good to go. You can wash it, do whatever with it. Then obviously you really have to dry the carbon what's it called, carbon brush, because most fans nowadays, well, they're probably still carbon brushes, but if there is a brushless fan for a PC, then that's also good, because I would prefer a brushless fan over brush. But even a brushless is a little bit more weaker, it doesn't handle the best. That's why every cooling fan is always brushed, because it's there, so then good performance. So what's it called? Now the RAM I'm going to be taking is the RAM that I showed you guys, the RAM that I unboxed, I unpacked, and I put it in my Dell laptop. I'm going to be taking that RAM and I'm going to be putting it in this PC. Now, I've seen on YouTube earlier on, somebody had a HP Pavilion gaming laptop, and they basically took off the entire bottom to access the RAM, obviously, and they've also shown the M.2 SSD, and obviously that had two jet fans. Obviously, it's a gaming laptop. They're obviously gonna have two jet fans every single time in every single one of them. What's it called though? So I see him take apart the laptop, right, and he undoes this a little packing thingy. It was some layer. He just takes off that layer of black, it wasn't paper, it was kind of peeled back some black layer of something, some sticky thing. I don't know what it was. It was kind of electronic tape, but a massive chunk of it, and he just peeled it back. So what's it called? So yeah, he swapped the RAM. He says that it's gonna give you he says in the video. I'm not can't remember if he showed it or not, but he said it whenever you boot up the laptop with a fresh new RAM installed, it's gonna give you a little message or something on the first boot. But then all you have to do to all you have to do to avoid that or fix it is just reboot the PC, and then you're good to go. But anyways, yeah, I want my RAM to be 8GB, because 4GB and 2GB, 6GB, I don't really recommend it for gaming. It's okay for browsing, but it's not good for most games. I think even for the emulator, if you try to emulate some games, they probably won't run. And that's probably also why Hitman, I don't know, it could be a RAM thing, could be an APU thing, I don't really know. Could just be the graphics format, the APU, or the Windows 10 version of one probably doesn't support it, or obviously that would be very unlikely. But I don't really know, maybe my APU isn't powerful enough to run that kind of graphics. I don't know, so maybe I have to buy a desktop just for that, but I don't know. I really wanted to play that Hitman game, but then that happened, so I don't really know. I will try to search up what graphics format, and then about my APU could support. Maybe it could just be my APU processor that probably doesn't support the graphics format, which is probably why the game wouldn't run, or probably because the game probably doesn't support laptops. That's probably also why. So that's why you probably just need a desktop PC, good graphics card. I think pardon me, I think a graphics card probably doesn't really matter all that much, but yeah, so that happened. Anyways, I'm going to get my I'm gonna steal one of the RAM. Actually, no, what I'm gonna do, I don't know if I should bring the laptop up here or bring this laptop down there. I think it's a little bit I don't know. It's kind of hard, man. I don't know what to do. Plus, I'm sleepy, but I want to do the RAM upgrade right now. Okay. You see, the thing is, right, I'm trying to clear out the RAM cache that's in the other laptop, so then I can actually use that RAM with this, because I don't want the previous things from that RAM to be stored onto this laptop. I don't want that to happen. Even though I've never did anything like that before, I know that might happen. So I think that might happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. It might just clear out the cache automatically. Who knows? It's Windows 10. It might do it. I don't know. I haven't really swapped RAM like that before. I don't know, man. I could just go out and just buy new RAM, but then it's gonna cost a bit of money. I don't want to spend my money, man. I'm saving for something right now, so yeah. It's better if you save. If you spend, even though money's for spending, it's good if you save. Because you could save up to 1,000 to even 1,000,000. You never know. So I want to save and get something good out of my money. possibly even my own car when I'm older. Who knows? Because I don't, even though I don't physically drive in real life. I do drive in games, and it's really fun. So I guess when I get my car, I might spend my money on that, or I might spend it on a desktop. Who knows? So, you know, could just bring my PC down there and then maybe just mute the microphone, because there is copyright music playing down there. At the moment, that is, because you know, I'm still thinking though. I'm still thinking, guys. You see, oh man, I don't know, because I've tried to boot into Windows 10 and everything. I've even cleared out, you know, that day when I completely wiped the hard drive and I reinstalled Windows 10 on it and everything like that. It all ran correctly, but then the countdown screen, it glitches out on the countdown screen and just freezes up, locks up on the countdown screen on the OS. Like, it says Windows 10 or Windows 7. I click enter on Windows 10 and that is like, even the countdown time is frozen, stuck on 27 seconds. So yeah, it's like a 30-second countdown. It's like stuck on like that, basically, like 27 seconds. I can't even move it up or down. There's like weird artifacts on the screen. So that graphics chip is, I can tell it's been put under a lot of load, because even though, yes, I've played games on it, I've played the games with the fan actually blowing through the heatsink, but obviously whoever owned the laptop before me, I think they haven't really opened the laptop ever, and they haven't really taken care of it ever, so they just let it be, and then all that stuff, and they then later on they were like, oh yeah, why is it beeping, this and that, but then obviously, you know, they probably ended up using the laptop for like parts and shit, so they probably just took out the hard drive and the RAM, left the laptop like that. Obviously the battery was terrible on that thing, man. The battery wouldn't even last a second. It literally just drained completely. So I always had to have the laptop plugged in constantly. Whenever I needed to use it, I always had to have the laptop plugged in. This is why when I swapped to the Samsung laptop, it was a lot better. Obviously, I did end up buying a replacement battery for the Dell laptop, because I was so fed up that I always had to plug it in, or I always had to keep it plugged in, and the power brick would get so hot, because obviously the laptop's just relying on that. But obviously, yeah, even the replacement battery isn't so good, because that holds charge, but it doesn't hold charge for so long. That only lasts like what, probably an hour, 2 hours probably. That's not so long, but on this thing it's like 3-4 hours long. It's a pretty good battery. So even though it does drain not so quickly, it's still, you know, this is an amazing battery in this laptop. I'm not sure if it's the original battery or not, but this is, like, in this condition right now, it's pretty good. So, yeah. You know, you could always make something that doesn't work if you know how to do it, and if you have the things for it, then yes, you can. And if you have the skills and the time, you can literally do it. Because even though, yes, these are the only 2 laptops that I've really repaired and shit, the Dell laptop just needed RAM and hard drive. That was super easy, and a bit of cleaning. That was like really easy stuff. So that was the basics. Obviously that's like level 1. Level 2 would be something like you would have to pay for, you know, like a smash screen. Obviously, the new replacement screen still costed quite a lot of money, 44 quid. That's still pretty expensive for a replacement screen. For a 1366 by 768 display, that's still pretty expensive on a Samsung laptop. So I got the replacement screen, but the original screen was like a matte. It wasn't really reflective. It was more like a non-reflective kind of like layer. But then this one has a shiny screen. But shiny screens, in my opinion, that I always think shiny screens have like they're more like sharper looking. They're more that they have like, obviously the same amount of pixels, 3066 by 768, as the matte screen. It's just the finished coating, the finished like coating is glossy. I like having a glossy screen, but obviously you could easily see scratches and shit on it. But yeah, from what I've had, like the Dell laptops that in this house, like the screens are really good on them, honestly. So yeah, Samsung laptop. At the time when I had the Dell laptop, Samsung laptop, I didn't know that we had a charger for it, and the battery had no charge, so that's why it wouldn't turn on. Fair enough, but oh well. It's not one of those laptops. This is not one of those laptops where like once the battery dies, you turn it on and it turns back on again. It's not one of those laptops. It's one of those laptops is if the battery dies, it dies. You can't turn it on again unless you put in a charger, and then obviously yes, you could turn it back on. So I like that kind of system because with the other system though, the one that dies but then you can still turn it on after it dies, you never know what happened to the laptop when you were gone and when you had the hard drive defragging or fixing itself, because you never know if the battery died, or obviously yes, the LED would be on, but you still won't know. Like the hard drive the system could have overheated, or the hard drive could have it was doing something and then it forced shut down and caused the battery to die, just go flat. So no battery. Okay, maybe I can't do this thing. Maybe I have to bring my systems, or bring my Dell laptop up here, do the whole thing here, then put in the RAM. But obviously, I think there probably won't be anything on the RAM. I think maybe that PC might run off the single RAM, the single stick of RAM, which I think if it's gonna do that, then yeah, obviously it's fine. Right, let me put my phone on charge, because it's whenever I live stream, I don't know why iPhones always overheat, and they always like drain battery really quickly. Okay, guys, as I was checking my battery, I also cleared out some notifications. So my RAM on the phone doesn't like heat up too much, or like saves a bit of battery, so much my phone can charge quickly. So I'm gonna go grab the other system. I hope that it still boots up anyways, but I don't know anymore, man. I might leave might mute my microphone and bring or just plug in the other laptop, see what it does without the single stick of RAM, or without the other stick of RAM, and then bring that RAM up here, put the 2GB RAM in that PC, and then just have the 4GB RAM in this one, which means that total would be 8GB, because obviously it's really easy calculations if you know how to calculate it. So like you can't get a calculator for that, because if you get a calculator for that kind of stuff, then you're pretty much stupid. You've not been in maths ever, and I mean ever. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna put my phone down, and I'm gonna mute the microphone. So I'll see you guys in just a bit. Bye for now. Right, guys, I'm back. I was gone for quite long because the Dell PC finally decided to what's it called? The Dell PC finally decided to make the GPU actually display Windows 10 on the screen, and now it's saying hi. This might take a while. Next and shit. So now it's just doing its thing. Thank God the graphics are actually working now. Not sure how long it's gonna last. Might even last about half an hour, and then it might just go black screen again. Who knows? But yeah. So I'm just letting the laptop do its thing. Not when did you connect, Jimmy? Right. Anyways, I'm eating food, so I need to go back downstairs. I just came back with a little update. How much percent is my phone, anyways? It may not be enough. It may only last like 2 minutes, and then my phone's my phone's battery is probably gonna drain back to 20. So I'm gonna wait until it's like 50-60%, and then I'm gonna take you guys downstairs. So I'm gonna go again. So I'll be right back. Actually, no. Before I... Right, I'll be right back, guys. So I need to go again. So bye bye. Right, I'm back. I know it's been an hour, but I'm gonna disconnect the charger. My phone's only on like 70 something percent. Go get my. Hold on. It was just working. Oh my god. It was just working. So when you want to come back, it stops working. It's the only issue I've got on this PC. This is what's stopping me from upgrading the RAM. This thing here. Stopping me from doing it. This GPU is faulty. There we go. Decided to turn it on. Oh, so we're seeing artifacts on the screen. Print automatic repair. Hard drive. Chat fans going full speed. Yeah, the GPU is just really old. It's old hardware, so it's going to be doing some stupid artifacts like this. See, if the Windows stuff was generated off the CPU, I could have just upgraded the CPU, but it's the GPU instead. See, I know the GPU does this stuff. Can't be the CPU because I know pin grade array stuff doesn't do this. Only soldered on board things do, especially if the solder is what's it called? Only if the solder is lead free. So I know oh, there we are. There we go again. If it's leaded solder, it wouldn't do this. So I'm thinking now if I could probably just get some of the solder off the GPU, put on lead solder on there. Could be a chance that it's lead free. That's probably why it's doing this, or just replace the GPU. Might fix the problem. Start turning on. How I can tell it's turning on the screen, because I can kind of see the screen pixels turn on for a split second, then the backlight turns on, but obviously I don't see that now because the GPU has something to do with that. That's why. But if the GPU isn't communicating back, that means normally the solder is gone. If it's not communicating back, or the chip has aged a lot, which makes the chip very, very old. It's about 13, 14 years old, probably 14, 15 years old. It's a pretty old GPU. Not sure what GPU. I know it's an AMD Radeon, but I forgot what the model name was. It was. I'm gonna see if the same GPUs in other PCs, not just this, because I'm pretty sure it's not just in this PC. But yeah, what's it called? If I could swap out the GPU with something else just the same, that takes the same power, that doesn't go faulty like this, maybe I could fix the problem like that. Maybe it's just a very old GPU, probably needs replacing, because you know chips do age over time, especially ones that overheat. That's why the PS3 fat and the slim models, they always give you the year to death because of these solder's gone bad. Mainly the what's it called? Mainly it's the solder that is the bull grid away, the lead free solder, not the leaded. Lead free solder is terrible. I don't recommend it because it doesn't commute. Like when something needs to communicate, it doesn't let the connection go through. Sometimes I don't know why. Thing is just, yeah. Also, when the chip reaches its highest temperature, that if it's lead-free solder, it melts easily because at a higher temperature melts. I think, yeah, like a lowish temperature melts, but at a if that was leaded solder, it would melt at even higher temperature because obviously temperature is way too high. But yeah, leaded solder is so much better than lead-free. Lead-free is just used because for the environment, but that's really it. No other reason to use lead-free solder. How much percent is my phone? Good, it's on like 75. Yeah, it's on like 75%, so that's still good. I just wanted to turn on the screen and then like I could do things. This PC is such a waste of time, honestly. I just want to like take this RAM, put it into my Samsung laptop. Trust me, if it's a pin grid array APU, it would not do this issue that this laptop's doing. Because this is old hardware as well, but this is something good. This has a good CPU in it, and I know the CPU isn't bad. Even though the CPU is pretty old, it's not as old as the graphics chip, but so Core i3, it shouldn't be doing this. Say if the GPU can't turn on the screen, at least the CPU should try and turn on the screen. Or if this entire problem is linked to the CPU, I can fix it because I could just buy a new CPU and there we go, put it in. It's pin grid array, it's really easy. But because it's a chip that's soldered onto the board, I can't do anything about it. Can do something, and that's probably send it to a shop, PC repair shop. They could do the work for me, so I just need to pay them a bit of money. They could do the work for me and then get the chip replaced or soldered with get it soldered with leaded solder, not lead-free, because lead-free always has a problem. Leaded solder is perfect solder. It's what you need. Just need this thing to turn on the screen, But yeah, the GPU isn't replying back to whatever it's trying to communicate with it. So it could be the IC chip, that could be the HDMI chip, that could be any chip. Could even be the CPU. Which I know there's nothing wrong with the CPU because it all works properly. Actually, I think Windows 10 animations. No, obviously I've seen on YouTube, if you're getting the 8 beeps, then it's definitely something to do with the GPU. It's the GPU apparently. TDR video failure is something to do with the GPU. You've got to get a heat gun. You've got to just aim the heat gun at the GPU. It's the one problem about having a CPU and GPU. Any of these two components can fail, especially mostly the GPU. CPU is very unlikely, but GPU is most likely because I've seen it happen on PS3, a little bit of Xbox, and and PC. So could just be a bad chip. Who knows? But yeah, I just want to get the RAM because this is the RAM right now. I'm not sure what happens if I install the RAM with any data on it. Just install it. Would it get rid of the data? Would it reply back to the data? Who knows? So I want to flash this RAM, kind of just dump all the memory on it, and then because my current RAM is not good. It's 2 gigabytes and 4 gigabytes, 6 gigabytes. So I want to add this extra 4 gigabytes. Well, just want to take away the 2 gigabytes, put this 4 gigabyte one in. Then I'll get the best performance. This should not be happening. This is a GPU failure issue. It's TDR video failure. And also this laptop, this model is known for having this issue. So it's pretty common on this model of laptop. The Dell N5010. This is the model with that shitty GPU. I'm not sure when this was released. Could have been 2009, 2010. But why would it be like this then? Who knows? It could have been earlier. Could have been like 2007, 2008. Just wanted to turn on the screen, see what's going on the screen. There we go. That beeping you hear? Oh, there we go. Turn on the screen. Oh, there, we're getting some artifacts on the screen. It's not a good sign. Now this is not normal if you're getting all these artifacts on the screen, because it means that your GPU is really bad. I've seen worse. I've seen like after somebody would repair or aim the hot air gun at the GPU, when they would turn on the Dell PC, the screen would just flash different colors. It would be horrible. So I have seen worse with this chip. Oh, there we go. Oh, my arrow's not coming out. I don't see my arrow. Now we're getting some video artifact failure here. You guys clearly see video artifacts there. Yeah, that's clear as day. You guys can see it now. Better not overheat, or it's probably going to overheat. It's going to pretend it's overheating. Yep, I knew it. But yeah, what's it called? Whenever you play a 4K video, this Core i3 is really good at it. So that's one thing I like about this Core i3. It's really good at playing 4K videos. AMD can't really play 4K videos. Depends. Oh, there we go. Well, still getting that terrible video artifacting there. It's gonna say preparing auto repair and this and that. But what's it called? I just want to take the RAM out of this machine, and yeah, so I had everything ready for this. Diagnosing your PC. Alright, now those artifacts are gone. Now it's perfectly there. Hard drive is being busy. Jet fans blasting at full speed. And just gotta wait now, so yeah. I'm not sure how long this is gonna take. But yeah, the stick of RAM has a lot of fuses on it though, look at this. Don't overheat now. Oh my god, it's gonna overheat. Yep. This PC is a waste of my time. When I first turned on this PC, first ever time, it just beeped twice, and it never beeped like 8 times in a row. Probably explains why the guy uses PC as parts. This PC is just terrible, man. It's not the PC, it's the GPU. GPU needs repairing. Or the solder, the solder balls on it probably need replacing with leaded solder. Come on, reply. It's probably just a very old chip, Chips do this sometimes, they do get very old. But even the oldest of the oldest chips, even PC older than this, could even work better. I don't know, could be lead-free solder. I have to see when this PC was released. It's probably not released 2010 or something. It's probably released somewhere older, I don't know. Just need this sticker RAM. Actually, what I could do. Okay, get my screwdriver. This is what's currently in there right now. And I think that's probably supposed to be in slot 1, but it's in... I'm not sure what slot it's supposed to be in. Yeah, that could be slot 2. What am I doing? Okay, let me take this out. Let me shove this RAM stick in slot 1, just so it's a little bit more readable. Wait, what slot is that? 1.5 volts. Okay, not bad. There we are. The RAM is in. Put this back on. Just like that. So screw it in. Screw it back. So that's swapped it. So now it should do something else. Ready? Should turn on now. See what I could do. Everything again. The hard drive is doing things. Well, it's not doing things anymore, but it's just, yeah, there we go. It's doing things, but it just beat for like a split second. There's nothing on the screen though. Right. Come on. Nope. Come on. It needs to turn on. It needs to communicate with the screen before the disk drive turns on. That's clearly not happening. Nope. hard drive's doing things, but look, if I hold the power button, I know it's probably just reading right now. It shouldn't be reading or writing. There we are. Nope, it didn't turn on screen. There's no reason for it to overheat. Even though there is hot air coming out, that's probably just hot air from the CPU. Like, it's probably, oh there we go. It's probably from the CPU side. Don't glitch out or anything. Just repairing this corrupted sectors. Maybe the hard drive was writing something. Then it probably just got corrupted in between. Because I turned it off. I first turned it off. So it's saying preparing automatic repair. Busy hard drive. Should be something on the screen. Yes, there is. Diagnosing your PC. I did say half an hour ago that it was installing Windows updates, but I'm not sure if that gets on the latest update or not. Oh man, this PC is a waste of time. It's a piece of junk. Especially when this kind of things happen to the PC. It really is a piece of junk then. Automatic repair. I just want to continue to Windows 10, really. Don't overheat now. No, I shouldn't overheat. Oh wow, what a bitch. It overheated. There's no reason. I don't see a reason. Either this chip is extremely old, or it's not extremely old, but it's quite old. Oh my god, man. Please turn on the screen. It's going to take ages. There we go. It's probably F2. Anyways. I was gonna say automatic repair, there's nothing really to do here, because the PC GPU is pretending to overheat. It plays games and stuff properly, so it shouldn't do that. I like how it's kind of just displaying like a little bit. Right. Let's go to advanced. Advanced options. Start a prepare, uninstall updates. Start behavior. Let's try this then. Oh my god, it's gonna pretend like it's gonna overheat. Yep, I knew it. Yeah, I might have to enter a high clock. There we go. What I'm going to do, just hold on. I am going to disconnect the charger, obviously leave it on. And install the other RAM back. So I'm really sleepy. What's the time? 12:57, even though technically it's actually 1 o'clock. It's 1 in the morning. So I've got to be really quiet. People are sleeping. Can't be too loud here. Hate when this PC is wasting my time. But hey, it's the weekend, you know. Install this RAM back. I remember this RAM being. Hold on. Let me show you guys. I remember this darker RAM being on this side. I'm gonna install that back. Well, this RAM is really warm. Is that a good sign? I don't think that's a good sign, is it? Means it's been working. Install this on there. Yeah, I installed it correctly. It's just checking. Okay, both RAM are back in there. Yeah, I might just buy 16 gigs. So, you know, I really need 16 gigs. I only realised I was holding my camera at the wrong angle. But anyways. Okay, that's enough. Let's turn on the PC. Things like horribly short-circuiting on me. PC is a waste of time. Right. Going to disconnect the charger. I'm gonna have to do it tomorrow, guys. So, yeah, I guess I will, see you guys tomorrow. So, this is gonna be linked to a part 2. I can't even speak today because I don't really speak all that often. So, if you have enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. This piece is really heavy because so much metal. That sounds like my fucking bed. Right, I'm gonna put this plate here. I'm gonna put the tissue paper in. Hey guys. Right, guys, I'm back. Basically, I was saying downstairs that I don't speak so often today. Well, I do speak, but obviously I wasn't like, what's it called? I was barely ever talking today, so that's why I couldn't really speak today. That's why I couldn't talk properly today, because I wasn't speaking so much today. If I was talking a lot today, then obviously I would. But I was mostly just watching like YouTube and stuff, but obviously didn't really have time to well, I was planning it in the morning, then I got distracted and then completely forgot about it. And then basically how I thought about it like today or later on was because my TV remote was malfunctioning, let's say. And I thought, well, because I might replace the batteries, why not go live and do it on stream? So did that, but I found out my TV remote was actually just malfunctioning. It wasn't actually faulty or anything. The batteries was just kind of playing up. So that's why there was no. That's why you guys saw and start the stream. There was no like TV. The TV wasn't like saying anything because the remote couldn't communicate. Because it's rather bad infrared signal. Even the infrared signal was fine because I was holding the remote in front of me, so it could have just reached the TV like that, but it didn't. It chose to not. So that's not my fault. It's the TV remote's fault. Well, it's not the TV's remote. It's the remote's batteries, because they're not feeding it enough power, or the lithium ion cells just weren't ready yet. I don't know. So if you did enjoy today's stream, you know what to do. Hold on. These are all knocked over. Let me just put them all back how they were. Originally were, you know. I think they were knocked over twice, weren't they? Because I remember. They shouldn't be like that, right? So, yeah, I couldn't upgrade my RAM, so if you saw the title, upgrading my RAM to get more like space and shit, well, I couldn't upgrade my RAM today, because look at the fucking time. Yeah. 1:10 a.m. It's crazy. Yeah, time just goes quick, man. Especially when you watch YouTube and when you have fun. Time literally flies, literally. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Right. But also, when you want time to, like, fly, even though when you're bored or when you're in school, it just doesn't fly in school, man. It just flies when you get home. And I hate that about time. Like, time is a bitch. Like, whenever I'm at home, whenever I'm, like, doing things, because I'm always doing things at home anyways. I'm always doing something, so, you know, keep me, like, working or entertained. Time just flies, but whenever I'm in school, I'm not doing much in school. Depends on what I'm doing, really. Time does not fly. It feels like a long time in school, literally. It's crazy. Even though 6 hours still. It's crazy, man. At home is like a full 24 hours. It was basically, yeah, a full 24 hours at home. Well, if it's like a weekend, yeah, a full 24 hours depending on what you're doing. But if you go outside, it's not really a full 24 hours at home. It's more like a 20. It depends how much hours you spend outside, like 10 hours. Then maybe that'll be like 14. I'm not sure. Anyways, so yeah, if you did enjoy today's stream, I'm going to put my little red drink over here. My laptop, I think that's completely shut off, or might be asleep. Let me check. It's completely powered off. Yeah, I was getting it prepared for the RAM, but I'm not sure what it's going to say. It might say, like, it might go through Windows setup. I don't want it to do that. So, that might actually affect some files on the hard drive. This is literally my main machine. If anything from that RAM affects this PC, it's because the RAM cache is from that PC's hard drive. But the reason that, you know, I'm trying to clear all. I'm trying to wipe that RAM, so then it's completely free. Like, it's completely like no caching and nothing, and I could use it with another PC. But I might have to buy a new RAM. I don't know. There's probably a tool out there somewhere that probably cleans the RAM that you could probably just buy, or maybe you can install a program on the PC that completely makes the RAM like new, so then you can use it with another PC, which is what I want to do with my RAM, because I'm not sure if you could just do that straight away and then Windows 10 will say flashing RAM or something, I don't know. But yeah, so I don't want to like risk too much just because, so I want to keep it how it is right now. I might in the future get an 8 GB RAM stick, so that might be like 12 gigs, and then that might be fine for my game. I'm not sure. I might get two 8GB RAM sticks, make that 16GB. Maybe that would be even better. Who knows? So yeah, I want 16 gigs of RAM in total, but that's just gonna be quite expensive to buy. Even if it's DDR3, it's still gonna be quite expensive. So I might just have to go with 8GB for now. Just one 8GB stick, that's all I need. I can search the entire eBay and Amazon, just find just one. It doesn't have to be like Samsung branded, but I like Samsung branded 8GB sticks because they're Samsung branded and they match with this. And my motherboard most likely will support it because obviously it's Samsung branded, it might work. Doesn't have to be Samsung branded, but you know, you never know how long they're gonna last if it's not Samsung branded. So Samsung branded things last a very long time. That's one thing I've noticed with Samsung products. Especially the memory. Samsung's so good with memory, especially with RAM. When it comes to RAM, all of my consoles have Samsung RAM. Literally, I'm not even joking. Even like the PS4, the Xbox, all of them have Samsung RAM in them. Because Samsung always helps put like RAM in them. It would be good if one day if it would be like a PC, you could just upgrade your own RAM. That'd be amazing. I'm really sleepy right now, so just put this PC away, because obviously you don't go on a PC before you sleep. If you are, then turn on focus assist, I think it's called, or night light, something like that. Let me just flip the camera. Right, I'm gonna put this PC away now. Here we go. I'm extremely tired, as you could probably tell. I normally don't stay up till this late anymore. I used to, back in 2019, 2020. Me and Jamie used to stay up until like 5, 6 in the morning. It was horrible. Don't ever do that, guys. It's not good for you. It's not good for your sleep. Just don't stay up until that late. I don't recommend it. Say if like you sleep late or can't sleep, then fair enough. But I mean, if you can't sleep, then obviously turn on the fan, and the fan will help you sleep. But that, yeah, if you got a fan like this, that one there, then if that's just blowing air towards you, then obviously it's gonna let you sleep. So that's really good. Anyways, I am gonna sleep now, so because I'm really tired. Had not so much of a busy day today. I wasn't all that busy today, so yeah, my heatsink on my extender looks a little bit disoriented. Let me just orient it back. Doesn't really look neat, does it then? Even though this extender is a little bit like curved, because that's just how the design is. The heatsink isn't curved, but I can make it curved, but it's going to take a bit of effort for that. Okay, so if you did enjoy today's stream, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm gonna go turn off the light. what a rhyme out. Like, comment, and subscribe, and then I'm gonna go turn off the light. Yeah. If you're probably saying, my phone case looks like pink-ish. It's actually because of the mattress color. I've laid my phone on the mattress for a bit. And then, like, you could probably even notice it on my pillow, like, there's a bit of pink colour on there. But that's just because of my mattress, you know. Not I keep saying mattress, my bedsheet, there we go. My bedsheet is made the phone's colour, like, look pink, and now people are thinking my phone's, or not now, like, probably like 2 months ago, my friends are thinking that my phone, was it 2 months ago, or was it last month? My friends are thinking that this phone is rose gold. Clearly it's not. As you can clearly tell by there, it's not rose gold. It's clearly gold colour. So yeah, if you did like today's video, yeah, I might give my phone case a nice little clean, because if I turn around the camera and show you guys, look at this. You'll probably see on the side, it looks like a live stream. Hello, because it is a live stream, right? You can probably see on the side here the volume. By the volume, That looks like the design of the case. That's not actually the design of the case. That was actually a piece of the case that came off, because I don't know what it was. I think the case is just aged, or it's too much what's it called, grease, or I'm not too sure. Maybe it's too much sweat. I have no clue. But that basically this whole piece ripped off. So it's supposed to go like along like that, but it's just ripped off. I don't know where it went. I think I just had it in my pocket one day. Maybe that piece probably fell out. I don't know. But I am gonna get a new phone case. But the reason I've got this phone case, let me just swap the camera. The reason I've got this phone case here, yeah, it looks like this, it's because it's for a specific reason, and it looks like a heatsink. Obviously, if it looks like a heatsink, it's probably going to perform like one. Now, whenever my phone gets hot, I could just get like a little USB cooling fan, just put it on the back of the phone, and the phone cool really, really nicely. That's why, that's really the only reason why I have this case, because it's like a heatsink. That's why I like it, and it's really good. So, really good for cooling. So obviously, I do prefer it. So yeah, it's a lot like a heatsink. So yeah. Anyways, if you did enjoy today's video live stream, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. I'm gonna turn off the light, guys. Look, ready? 3, 2, 1. Bye bye.